Morning, Howard. Did you see who's over there on the buddy bench by the handball court? That's the new kid in our class. She's moved here from another country and she looks a bit lonely. That must be tough moving away from your country and friends. She looks sad. We should go talk to her and make her feel welcome. She doesn't speak English very well. I don't know how to communicate with her. Do you think we could use hand gestures to communicate? It doesn't matter what language we speak, just as long as we have fun together. Come on, Howard, let's invite her to join us during recess. We could show her around the playground and introduce her to some other kids too. I bet she'll be happy to have some friends to spend time with.
Quick question.
What are some reasons Amina and her family might have had to leave their country?
Relate. When we understand ourselves, we can understand each other. We can relate. Actually, I think I can relate to you. This is a big time for you, right? You're a senior in your school, you're growing and changing, you feel excited and nervous about these changes, and you have some pretty strong feelings. Am I right? How do I know this? 'Cause I feel the same. I can relate. And look around you. Most of the people in this room are going through the same stuff. We're all changing. Lots of people talk about this time in our lives in really negative and unhelpful ways.
Oh, watch out, they're becoming teenagers. Teenagers are so moody. Or,
You better start working harder, soon you'll be in high school. Yeah, you've heard that stuff, haven't you? Well, today we are going to turn that frown upside down. We are going to learn together about the changes we are going through and how this time in our lives can be pretty awesome.
Respect. Yeah, let's respect ourselves and respect each other. Because we're all going through the same stuff, I reckon. I mean, what I'm going through might be a bit different to what you're going through, right? But respect, compassion, and kindness will help all of us. So today, we are going to learn about how we can respect each other better and also remind ourselves what disrespect looks like so we can spot it, deal with it, and take care of ourselves and others.
Relating to each other and respecting each other helps us to connect with each other. And yeah, even though sometimes we might just want to be on our own, we are human, and these brains and hearts of ours need to connect with others. It's important for our health and well-being, and there are so many ways we can connect with each other. So, today, we're going to think about some of the ways we can connect. Like, even the times when connecting doesn't work. When the people we connect with might not respect us or could even be hurtful or harmful for us. And, of course, when connection just works. And how awesome that can be.
So, let's get going.
And remember, the same rules you have about respect in your classroom apply in this lesson too.
So, be kind everyone, to yourself and to each other, and let's
Relate.
Respect.
connect.
So, Howard, relating to someone is the same as connecting and understanding how others think, feel, or what they're going through. I can't even begin to imagine what Amina felt having to leave her home and move to another country, but I feel like I understand a little better now. I noticed that when we first saw Amina, she was looking down at the ground and looked sad, but when we sat down next to her, she looked up and smiled. The smile went even bigger when I waved for them to follow me to come play. Howard, have you ever felt left out or unsafe? It's not a nice feeling, and sometimes our body gives us clues that we're feeling sad, uncomfortable, or unsafe. These feelings are completely normal.
Our bodies tend to let us know we're uncomfortable or unsafe by our heart starts to race, we start to get sweaty.
I start getting an increased heart rate and I feel nervous.
When I feel unsafe, I get really sick to the stomach and I get really sweaty.
I get tingles around my chest and my back.
I start to feel very lightheaded. I get this feeling in my gut that something is wrong.
You might feel like you can't move.
I kind of disassociate and start to think about many scenarios in the situation.
And I get these waves of fear and like that I'm just by myself and I can't reach out to anyone.
These bodily functions are helpful because it lets us identify when we are feeling nervous or unsafe or in danger when we're not sure.
I trust my gut and I remove myself.
Quick question.
When your body gives you clues that it's feeling sad, uncomfortable, scared, or unsafe, what do you do to manage it? I'm so glad we included Amina. She must have been feeling really isolated and lonely. You know, Howard, it's actually a very brave thing that Amina and her family have done by moving here. It's a huge change to go from a place where they felt comfortable to a place where they didn't know anybody or the language people speak. Did you know that right now our brains and body are also changing? Come on, Howard, let's see how the brain and body changes. Now pay attention.
Changes. It's time for us to find the answers to the big question about this time in our lives. What is going on?
Let's do a rewind. We spent all our lives so far growing our brains. When we were little kids, we were learning about everything. We learned new things every day, every second. And every time we learned something new, we made new connections in our brains. So now, at this time in our lives, our brains are full of stuff, important stuff, and lots of it. This is great. Well, it can get full in there. So to deal with all this stuff, our brains change when we become teenagers.
You don't even realize it, but right now your brain is getting rid of lots of the connections in there that you don't need or use much anymore. And it's working on the connections you do use to make your brain work faster and smarter. Our brains develop from the back to the front. The back part of your brain, your survival brain, is well developed. It's keeping you alive right now. The middle of your brain, the emotional brain, is also very well developed. You might notice yourself or your friends are very emotional at the moment. And lots of emotions. Sad, excited, frustrated, angry. You get the idea. Yep, this part of your brain is going off. The front part of your brain is still growing. It's called the prefrontal cortex. And it's the thinking part of your brain. And, well, it's not fully grown yet. In fact, it won't be for another 10 to 15 years or so. That's not to say that you can't think clearly at the moment. Of course you can. But big decisions are hard for growing brains. That's why you can't vote yet or do other adult things.
And of course, while you are growing, your body and brain are being flooded by special chemicals called hormones. Yeah, I know a lot of us don't feel comfortable talking about this stuff, but we need to, because hormones can scramble our thinking and make our emotions feel so much stronger too. So your brain is full of hormones, and it's being rebuilt. Sounds pretty intense, huh? But this is actually awesome. At the end of this reconstruction, you are going to have a great brain.
While these connections are being made, you can literally make the brain do whatever you want. Do you want to learn the guitar? Now is the perfect time to do it. Do you really want to get good at the guitar? Practice, practice, practice. Do you want to learn anything at all? Well, start doing it now, because the teenage brain you are growing learns things much faster than the older adult brains can. But the good news is that it's never too late to start. Have you ever heard about neuroplasticity? This means your brains can grow and develop all throughout your life. But the teenage brains are the coolest.
You can build your best brain by eating healthy food, avoiding drugs, even the legal ones like alcohol and nicotine. Getting plenty of sleep, I know sounds boring, but you grow when you are sleeping and store all the cool stuff you are learning in your memory. And keep that growing brain busy by doing all the things that brains love, like learning new things, practicing things you already know, exercising, making connections with people, and having fun.
So, if I heard and understand correctly, my brain's at its best or optimum to learn new things and make new connections right now. It's like we have a super brain. Almost the same thing, Harold. This means that we are learning lots of new things at the same time. Maybe we could learn some words in Amina's language, Arabic, and she can learn some more words in English. Harold, it's a great time to learn a new skill, make a new connection, and a new friend.
Quick question.
Harold and I want to challenge you. What could you do today, this week, or this month to learn something new that used to be hard, or relate or connect with someone new? You never know, you might make a new friend that can teach you a thing or two.